Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new and original video in this section where we'll also be making content in English talking about truly interesting topic. In this first English version, I'd like to talk to you about the spiritual journey and awakening of Emily, a girl who could be any one of us, or she walked the path of spiritual transformation, awakening to consciousness and searching for her true self, her real essence. I hope you enjoy this new version, that it helps you practice your English and that it inspire and entertain you as well. Thank you so much and once again, welcome. Starting. Once upon a silence, there was a woman named Emily. She didn't know why, but something deep inside her was calling. A feeling, a whisper, a pull. Not a voice from outside, but from within. Something harsh dared to awaken. One day, Emily received a letter. It has no clear word, just a symbol, a strange mark at the bottom. The paper fell out, but alive. She didn't know who had sent it or what it meant, but she knew this. Her life would never be the same. She follows the feeling the letter awakened. It led her to a mountain, not one she has ever seen, but one that felt familiar in her dreams. There she met Aaron. She didn't say much, but his presence was cold, ancient. He wasn't a man of answers, but of guidance. Along the path, Emily also met Daniel. He didn't lead, he didn't follow. He walked beside her, silent, steady, kind. She didn't know if Daniel was someone she had met before or someone she had always known in another form. But his presence felt like of her soul. As Emily walked deeper into the mountain, she faced room of light, of mirror, of silence. She followed the red thread glowing softly in the shadow. She found a symbol in the old library carved in stone. A letter? Or what is the key? What is the key? She walked through fear, through memory, through the shadow of herself. She met her dove, she saw her past version, she faced her own silence. Then a voice came, not from Aaron, not from Daniel, not from the outside. It came from her or her. You are not here to find the message, you are here to become it. She paused. She breathed. She listened. And she understood. She wasn't carrying the letter. She was the letter. The treasure she took, she was looking for wasn't an object. It wasn't something to read. It was something to live. A truth to become. A silent whole. Daniel stood beside her. He didn't speak. He sampled her speak. He was part of the path. Part of her. Maybe within flame. Maybe her reflection. Emily steps into a circle of light. There wasn't no door, no altar, no mirror, only a soft space. And there she saw herself. Not her face, not her image, but her true self. Her soul smiled, and every version of Emily smiled with her. The child, the seeker, the doer, the woman she was becoming. Then the final voice came. You are the letter, written by love, carried by silence, sent into the world, not to be read, but to believe. She cried, not from sadness, but from reconnection. The mountain held its breath, the tree bowed, the earth stayed still. Emily looked at, not for answer, but in gratitude. She was light, she was shadow, she was truth. And the journey was not over, it was just beginning. Okay, part 1, the invitation. It began with a letter, no stamp, no address, just her name, Emily, written with the dedication of someone who knew her. She read it in silence. The words were few, but they stirred something ancient within her. It spoke of a journey, a staircase, and a door that only opened from the inside. A whisper from beyond, the noise of the world. A call to remember what was never forgotten. From that moment, Emily changed. She left behind the comfort of knowing and stepped into a space of listening. She walked slowly. She watched the clouds. She began to hear this voice again, the one that sounded like silence, like love unspoken. Part 2. The invisible staircase. Invisible staircase. Okay, in dreams, she saw it. A staircase of light, floating, endless, and terrifyingly still. Each step carried a memory. Each ascent required surrender. As Emily climbed, she faced the weight of her own shadows, regrets, longings, silence. She took the hat to fight them, but the staircase taught her to love them, to welcome even her fear. Each letter she found wasn't from another, but from her own soul. Part 3, Daniel. He came like the wind, not sudden but certain. Daniel. He spoke few words, but his eyes held the storm and the calm. In him, Emily saw everything she ran from: desire, doubt, truth, tenderness. Was he real? A guide? A memory? Or just a reflection of her soul taking form? She loved him deeply, not for what he gave her, but for what he relieves in her. Still, he would come and go, like the tide, like breath. Some night, she cried to the star, asking why he couldn't stay, but something deeper whispers. He's not outside, he's you. Part 4. The descent. After light comes shadow, Emily reached a place where the stairs seemed to vanish. She felt abandoned every by the voice. Memories of lost her face, her father's absence, the silence of God, the betrayal of a friend. She felt alone in the deepest way, but in that silence she heard the echo of her own courage. She began to understand the staircase wasn't leading up to her, it was leading inward. Part 5. Aaron. He appeared when she was ready. Aaron. He didn't speak to convince, but to remind. He stood by the last threshold, not to board it, but to witness her crossing. Aaron told her stories of souls who forgot who they were, of the letter that wait in every care, of the light that never left. He said, "You are not climbing to reach God. You are remembering that He never left you." Emily wept. Part 3. The courage of echoes. In her final trial, Emily met herself not as she imagined, but as she was, strong, soft, broken wall. She held the child she has always been. She embraced the woman she has become. She forgave the silence. She understood the delays. She accepts Daniel as a flame, not a person to possess, but a present to honor. And with error washing gentle, she walked through the final door. There was no bright light, no explosion of minutes, only peace. Part 7. The Last Breeze. Emily sat on her. The wind played with her hair. The sky was white, and for the first time she filled with air. Daniel stood near me, no close, no far, just enough. Aaron faded into the light, but his presence stayed. Emily smiled. She has found the truth. No outside, not in book, nor even in letter. She was the letter. She was the mystery. She was the answer she has been waiting for. And she breathed out. The word exhaled with a peace, silence, God. The end is not the end. The case disappears. The soul remember, and the letter continues, written in every heart that dare to read. Part 8. The letter continues. After the final bridge, a new silence began. It wasn't empty, it was alive. Emily didn't return to the war. She became the war. She was the river, the tree, the flame. She walked among people with a quiet radiance. Her eyes showed pain, but also the light behind it. She smiled often, spoke little, and listened deeply. Children would shake her hand and say they knew it from a dream. Animals followed her without fear. The wind would change direction when she paused. And still, they carried the letter. She carries the letter. Not on paper, but it's in her step, in her gaze, in her breath. Wherever she went, she became the staircase for others, not to teach, not to lead, but to remind that they too are the leader, that they too are walking home. Past night, reflection from the flame. Daniel returned once more, not as a man, but as a whisper in her hair. "You never lost me," he said. "You simple become me." He was the courage she found, the honesty she embraced, the cheer she allowed, the love she no longer feared. She realized she has never been alone. Every shadow was an angel in disguise. Every silence was a message. And Aaron? He has never left. He was the stillness between her thoughts, the warmth behind her spine, the voice that always waits until she was ready. Past 10. The turn expired. The staircase did not end. It transformed into a spiral, not to ask them, not to test them, but to dance. Emily danced with light and shadow, with memory and present, with deed and birth. She no longer asked questions, she became the question. She no longer sought the path, she became the path. And in a quiet garden, beneath a sky that had every color, she wrote the final letter. To those who walk alone, you're not alone. To those who seek love, you are love. To those who fear the dark, remember, even darkness is full of stars. She folded the letter, kisses it, and let it fly with the wind. It found its way into the hand of someone, somewhere just beginning to awake. The end is not the end. The scale disappeared, the soul remembered, and the letter continues, written in every hair that dared to read. Part 11. The Gardener of Name. There came a time when Emily no longer needed to remember. She simple was, but life, like the spiral, kept calling her deeper. One morning, in the place that filled life, both wind and air, she arrived at the garden where name grew of petal, name not given by others but remembered by the soul. She walked among them, touching its flower gentle. One said hope, another fierceness, a third mercy, but none of them belonged to her. Then, beneath the older tree, she saw a blossom so small it shimmered with stillness. She leaned, it said truth. She pressed her forehead to the ground and cried, not from pain, but from reverence. She understood now that she hasn't been looking for answers. She has been walking home to her own name. Part 12. The River of the Remembers. From the garden flows a quiet river, not made of water, but of memory. She stepped in and felt leaves wash over her. Not just her, but the leaf of many. Mother, lover, warrior, healers, wanderers. Each hour were each story a reflection. As she floats, she hears the sounds, not of sorrow, but of remembering. The sound, where the breeze of the one who speaks with sound. We're the fire that doesn't burn. We are the love that waits beyond four. Emily watched the game, not for herself, but for those who still believe they were lost. She made it to walk in the water as a sleeping leather and whispered from the river. Part 13. The return that was never a return. She opened her eyes one morning and realized she was home, not because she has arrived, but because the journey has the soul. The room was the same, the city, the trees, but she saw them now as through the eyes of God. Daniel was there too, not as a man, but as breath in her chest. Aaron's presence moved in her spine. She didn't preach, she didn't correct, she simply lived, and her living smoke spoke volumes. Strangers would stop her to say, I have dreamed about you. Children would throw her face before meeting her. Her presence was not loud, but unforgettable. And always she carried the letter, not to show it, but to be it. Pair 24. The last shadow. One final shadow waited for her, fear on disappearing. Was it his name was forgotten? Was it no one read the letter? Was it the flame one day went out? She brought the spear into the garden, sat within, listening held close, and in that stillness she heard aloud. It was Daniel. You cannot disappear, he said. You are written in eternity. Aaron adds, you are the ink, not just the letter. Emily said. Her story didn't need to be now. Her step didn't need applause. Her flame didn't need to burn in public. She was there, and that's was enough. And so the letter continued in the eyes of the stranger, the breeze of the seeker, the silent, or a hill of dove. From those who have eyes to see and heart to remember, the letter is always being written. And we are going to the last part, 15, the temple without wall. There was a place Emily had always dreamed of, a temple not made by hand, not built by stone. She arrived there not by walking, but by remembering. It wasn't a building, but a moment, nor a location, but a presence. She stood beneath an open sky, and the wind moved through the air as to she were made of life. No price, no dogma, only the truth that had followed her since the first letter. A tree stood in the center, its roots wrapped around the air, its branch touched the stair, and from it hung leather, countless, shimmering, alive. Each other contained two once forgotten. Each two was part of the greater world. And Emily understood. The temple was herself. Part 26 and last, the one who waited. There was one more present, one more voice. She had filled and her life. And longing silence of bodies became prayer. She turned and saw a figure clothed in pure stillness, now faced by infinite compassion. Not for but unmistakable love he had waited, not for her perfection, not for her holiness, but for her return. He wasn't Daniel, he wasn't Aaron, he was something below, He was the source, the origin, the one who has written the first letter, and now he whispers, you have never been far. I have worked every step within you. You are my breath, my word, my beloved. She fell to her knees, not in worship, but in reunion. Part 17, the final silence. Emily didn't speak again for a long time. She has nothing to prove, nothing to teach. She walked slowly. She touched tree with reverence. She listened to the breath of the stranger as it were sacred. She loved more, not out of amusement, but from the sheer wonder of being. Sometimes she would write small notes and leave there in the spool of branches, inside books, in the pocket of second-hand coat. Not that say, you're not broken, God is not far, love remember, the staircase is already within you. And then one day she disappeared from the world, not as death, but as light. Some say they still see her in dream. Some say they found a letter in their hand when they woke. But those who truly knew smiled silently. because Emily has never left. She has become the silent. She has become the letter. She has become the Mr. is said. And the letter continues wherever love world with ambition, wherever soul awaken without fear, wherever one remember, there is no separation, there is only return. Okay, thank you guys for listening this story. I hope you enjoy with that. And it's an incredible story, beautiful story. And you can comment in the below the video. And you can share, you can expressing that you are feeling. And I hope in the deeper your heart, you are understanding the meaning of this story. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening again, and see you in the next chapter. Bye. Thank you. Okay.